Hey, what is up heroes, and welcome to my review of Bravely Second for the 3DS. Bravely Second takes place 2 years after the events of its predecessor, Bravely Default. The game starts off with Anya's Obliged, one of the main protagonists from the first game and a peace treaty signing, where she's got the two warring states, the Crystal Orthodoxy and the Duchy of Eternia, to make peace. However, things take a turn for the worst, and the evil Kaiser Oblivion crashes the party, defeats everyone in the room, kidnaps Anya and takes her to his stronghold, an impregnable fortress floating high over Eternia. You find yourself following the story of Yu, one of Anya's bodyguards who managed to survive the Kaiser's assault at the start of the game. Yu pledges to rescue Anya from the Kaiser's stronghold. Along the way, you will team up with some old faces like Eddie Ali and Tiz Aria from Bravely Default. You'll also see new faces. One of your new companions is Magnolia Arch, who by the way is from the moon.
In not so many words, I'm from the moon.
Along your journey, you'll be greeted by a vast world to explore with dangerous dungeons and fearsome enemies. If you're wondering, can I play this without playing Bravely Default? I would say yes, as at the start of the game, you are greeted by a recap of the first game that provides you with relevant information that you'll need to know during the game. I still think you should play Bravely Default before playing this game because 1, it's an excellent game, and 2, you will see a lot of returning characters and places. But you don't have to play the game, it's not necessary, but it would help a little bit to understand some of the characters' past background. However, I would say you need to play the Bravely Second demo, which isn't really a demo, it's more like a prologue to Bravely Second. It's free on the eShop, so I do recommend downloading it and giving it a go because it's actually really awesome. I think you need to play the demo as it helps introduce the new characters to the game, and to avoid spoilers, after completing the demo and then playing the prologue of the main game, you'll be very shocked and get this feeling I don't really want to explain in this review as it might spoil a few things, but honestly it's worth a play. Throughout your journey there is never a dull moment, you'll always get a sense of progression, be it through the main story or completing side quests for job classes. Speaking of job classes, you'll get this the same way as in Bravely Default, defeating main bosses, doing some side quests. Once you beat the side quests, you get a little boss, you beat them, then you steal their asterisk, which will allow your character to essentially change their role. You can have someone be a swordsman or use black magic or even support to buff up your team. However, in Bravely Second there are a lot of side quests that you do for these job classes, which will have you ending up in choosing in some sort of conflict or another, ultimately leaving you choosing between one or two asterisks. There is a way later on in the game to get all of them, but that's a bit of a spoiler and I'm not going to get into that now. Bravely Second introduces a bunch of new job classes as well as some returning ones. Early on in the game you'll find the first few job classes you get are completely new, like the Fencer and the Charioteer. The Fencer's specialty ability, Muscle Memory, retains status raising effects due to fighting stances on it, even when changing stance. And the Charioteer's specialty ability, Born Warrior, raises its affinity with its equipped weapon during battle by 1 stage with each regular attack. So both these new job classes are absolutely incredible, have a bunch of awesome abilities to go with them, and there are so many more awesome job classes in this game for you guys to explore. This game is a lot of fun. There are many humorous moments, like when Tiz is referenced in Star Wars.
These aren't the intruders you're looking for. These aren't the intruders you're looking for.
Idiot! These aren't the intruders we're looking for! Move along now, move along!
Or you breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, bother. I guess I'll just have to take the scenic route. Hey, don't give me that look. This is a terrible inconvenience.
The game introduces something new called tent scenes, where sometimes by a save point you'll be able to speak to this little fox, which will allow you to set up Yu's tent and watch a little cutscene that furthers character development, which is really fun because a lot of time it's kind of skits. Bravely Second also has fully voice acted cutscenes, which helps with the character development as it really brings these characters to life. Bravely Second uses the same turn-based battle system as its predecessor, which is absolutely fantastic because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. During your battles you have access to 2 unique features in the game, Brave and Default. So before we talk about the Brave and Default features, I should quickly mention how the battle point system works. So when you start a battle you'll start with 0 battle points BP, and every action costs 1 BP, and every single turn you get 1 BP back. So that's kind of important right here. Brave allows you to use multiple BP up to 4 to attack multiple times, so for instance I could attack 4 times in 1 turn with 0 BP, however I would be vulnerable for 4 turns as I would have minus BP, and BP is what allows you to essentially make moves during battle. And Default is essentially the opposite, it's basically guard. It reduces the damage you take that turn, as well as giving you 1 BP, so you can stack that up to 3, So really what you want to do is default to raise your BP, and then you can brave a couple of times without leaving you in the negative and being vulnerable to many attacks. The battle system is very easy to learn, and with all the jobs and customization you can do, it opens up a world of different strategies. Some new things introduced into this game is the fight on system. Let's just say you win a battle in one turn, you have the option to fight on and go on a victory streak, giving you an XP multiplier. However, this is high risk, high reward, as your BP does not carry over. There's been times I thought I could get a nice XP bonus, ended up in a battle with all 4 characters in a negative BP, just stuck there. Very vulnerable, and the enemy took full advantage and just wiped me out and had to start all over again. Grinding in this game is not an issue, as the battle system has a speed up and slow down option, which frankly I think every RPG needs. So if you need to grind a few levels, you can set the speed to ×4 and speed through battles. And if you're in an intense boss battle and you want to think about your moves or pause the fight to read the effects of some attack, you can do so. This isn't the only feature in the game I think every RPG should include. You can change the encounter rate in every area, so if you're banged up and need to run back to town and heal up, you can set the encounters to -100%, which is essentially turn the encounters off, so you can just run back through a dungeon, nice and safe, without having to worry about any enemies, or having to keep spam the run away button. Or if you get to a boss battle and you're totally underleveled, you can just set the encounter rate to 200%, jack up the encounters, just to gain that extra XP to help you level up. However, in this game, you will rarely find yourself feeling that you're underleveled, because a lot of areas will have a recommended level between like maybe 7 and 12 you should be in this area, or 5 and 6. This game really helps you out by helping the player identify if they're too weak or too strong for that part of the game, which is absolutely amazing. One thing I have to mention is, there's this really awesome cutscene in the game that uses the 3D gyro controls. It was a really awesome use of the gyro controls, and just check out this little scene here. I can't really see a difference between the graphics on Bravely Second and Bravely Default, but that's not to say they're not good. For the 3DS, I found everything very eye-appealing, especially the towns and backgrounds. They're absolutely gorgeous. When you stop moving, the camera zooms out, and you get the full view of the town in all its glory. Playing through the game, every single town I will just stop and let the camera zoom out at least once to see its beauty. The same can be said about the game's soundtrack. There's times I would just stop what I was doing for a couple of minutes just to listen to the music. I swear every RPG I play has an amazing soundtrack, and Bravely Second is no different. So have a quick listen to this. Overall, Bravely Second is an absolutely fantastic game, improves on Bravely Default in so many ways. The story is very exciting, had me feeling many different emotions, has a wealth of content, easily over 50 hours worth. The gameplay is solid and very engaging. I would recommend everyone pick this game up at full retail price as soon as you can. Whether you've played Bravely Default before, or you're coming to Bravely Second brand new, I 100% recommend this game to everyone. To me, Bravely Default was my favourite 3DS game I own, and now Bravely Second has just taken its spot. This is a must-play game, and I give Bravely Second a 10 out of 10.